always use this. I go between both of these for a little color, a little pigment, if you will. Everything just has to flow. It has to flow. Alright, you guys, so today we're going to be doing pretty much like my everyday makeup that I have recently put together, like this routine that I do pretty much every time I do my makeup, and I've been loving it. Now, there are certain products in this routine that I oftentimes switch out for something else, and when we come across those things, I will try my best to kind of let you guys know. But let's start with priming, of course. I am going to be using the MAC Hyper Real Serumizer. I've actually really been enjoying this lately. It's very hydrating on the skin. You can use it as primer. It's technically skincare. I've already done like SPF and all of that this morning, so I have not tried it like underneath the SPF and during like my skincare portion. I've only used it for makeup, but like it just makes your skin so smooth, and it gives like a nice vibrant glowy base, if you will, and I've been enjoying that. So I'm just using, I use 2 pumps, but I'm gonna go in with another like small, really small pump, and I'm gonna place that on my forehead area just so I can get some hydration up here too, and that way the skin is completely primed. Of course, I've already done my brows, and I did like put a little bit of concealer on my lids as well, just to kind of mute that out a little bit. And I did not set it because I want to put cream, bronzer, contour, however you guys look at it, kind of like right in here, you know. I've been loving that as well. So we're gonna move to cream products first. I kind of do like underpainting, kind of. Sometimes I do the actual underpainting routine, and sometimes I just kind of do my own thing, if you will. And so I always tend to start with cream bronzer in my case, because I like to use this one from Nars. And I have this Fenty brush. So I've had this for a while in my collection, and I've never used it until recently, and I've been loving it ever since. This is the contour and concealer brush. It just comes in this cute little packaging here, and you just twist the brush up. So as you guys can see, I've definitely used it. I do need to wash it, but I'm going to use it once more today. So I like to take it and just stamp it into the product, which I think is, you know, helpful. And then I'll just tap onto the back of my hand a little bit. I don't always tap onto the back of my hand, to be honest. It's just sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I don't really know why I do that, but then I just go to town and just start pressing this onto the skin. So I feel like for me personally, not to you guys, it may not seem like it, but for me, it's been about a good solid week, I want to say, since I've actually like sat down and did any type of like makeup tutorial or just makeup video for you guys in general. I have been vlogging a little bit. I'm currently vlogging now, of course, and I've been enjoying that, but I've missed like sitting down and doing like makeup content. The reason being is because, number one, my skin was just needing somewhat of a break from makeup. Also, I got my period, so I had like no energy at all, and I started feeling more like myself like yesterday, I want to say. So I'm really glad that that whole thing is almost over and I'm getting back to myself, which is nice. Also, the weather has been really, really nice outside as well. I'm also taking the product on my jawline as well, and I know it looks like messy a little bit, but that's okay because it's underneath, number one, and two, we're not really done blending it out. I'm just kind of placing it everywhere that I want it. So now I'm going on my nose, and if you obviously can tell, we're kind of back to not necessarily the old setup, but I missed this lens that I have on the camera right now. Honestly, I've missed it. I kind of prefer this lens, not kind of, I actually do prefer this lens over the other one that I was using before, just because it gets a little closer, a little more precise. I can never speak. It gets more precise, and the clarity is a little better on this lens as well. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go back to, oh, I forgot one spot. I'm gonna go back to this lens and I'm gonna make it work. So let me know down below what lens you guys prefer, this one or the one that was in the previous get ready with me that I did. Let me know in the comments down below. Also, I want to work on getting the, I think it's the Sigma 18 to 35 millimeter lens. That one, I think that one would be great, you know, where I don't have to constantly change out lenses. The one I'm currently using now is 50 millimeters. So it does have to sit like further back from me, but again, I just really love the clarity of this lens and what it does for the quality of the video, in my opinion. So to kind of blend the cream contour a little bit more, I'm gonna go in with my powder puff. This has had a chokehold on me, and I always use this when doing my makeup now. I'm not using like a damp beauty blender anymore to blend out concealer or any cream products for that matter. If I do use a sponge, it's dry and I use it for powder, and that's about it. But I've really been enjoying using this puff. Like, I just feel like it blends the makeup so much nicer. Like you guys see, this is a lot more blended now. That was my twin sister. I am, speaking of her, I'm going to be going over there today to see Janay. That little girl's getting so big. Her hair is getting long. She's just so smart, so bright. Poor thing has been sick for like the longest time ever, and she's finally like coming around and really feeling better and looking better too. So I'm gonna go spend some time with her. If you guys want to see any of that, it'll definitely be in the vlog, because like I said, I am vlogging today. I believe I told you guys that. So that'll be in there if you want to see her, but she's just the cutest thing. Alright, so this is all blended out. Now I am going to do foundation, and typically, okay, so I go between both of these. The Makeup by Mario, I really love this foundation. I know there are people who do not like it, but you guys, this looks so good on the skin. I'm really loving this, and I'm not saying it just because. I truly, genuinely, wholeheartedly mean it. I've been loving this. I also love this light reflecting foundation from Nars, and I think I used the Makeup by Mario in my last video, so I am gonna go in with the Nars today. I kind of go back and forth between the two just to kind of use them evenly, if you will, but I've been using or loving using both of these. I just realized I have this whole palette thing, I don't know what you call it, on my table that I pulled out, so I didn't have to put stuff on the back of my hand, and here I am still putting stuff in the back of my hand. So I'm just taking this little brush and I'm just gonna place this on the skin. I don't need a lot. That's what I love about this, like the process and the product itself. Like you don't need a lot of anything really, and it's more of like, it's an everyday look, but it's more lightweight. It's not heavy, it's not full glam, and you know, I've been loving that. Just like for an everyday quick out the door beat. I literally can probably do this whole routine in like 10-15 minutes if I wasn't filming. Like, it's just the easiest thing in the world to me. And the fact that I don't gotta dampen a like beauty sponge or anything like that makes it even more easier. Also, the fact that I don't need like a whole bunch of brushes and stuff to like do this routine is also great as well. Just everything is just real minimal and minimized, but you still get a really nice flawless like finish at the end, which is obviously great. So I've been enjoying this a lot. To be honest with you guys, I really feel like between those two foundations, unless there is something else that comes out and is on the market that is just like way better, or even comparable. I honestly see me using these two foundations for a while, basically until I run out, to be honest. And I know I told you guys, like, I'm just real selective about the things that I'm buying. And speaking of being selective, I don't know if I updated you guys in a vlog or not, but I know that some of you guys do not watch the vlog. So I do want to just make it known that I am starting to form some real opinions about the e.l.f. Halo Liquid Glow Foundation. I don't think I really like it like that. Like, when you first put it on, it looks beautiful on the skin. It's nice, it's radiant, all that good stuff. But like, longevity, having it on all day, it just, for me, I feel like my skin just looks really like oily at the end of the day, and I really do not like that. I even tried mixing it not too long ago with the Fenty skin tint. Like, I combined the two. I think I did that for TikTok. I just haven't edited the video. But I combined it, I had it on, I want to say it wasn't even a full 8 hours, and it still was giving oil, and I don't like that. So at this point in time, I just have to say I will gladly pass on that, honestly. I really would, just because it's not giving the way that I want it to give. And I believe one of you guys, maybe it was Sybil who said it, but said that the Charlotte Tilbury is just much better. So I'm still invested, and very much so do want to get that when I can, but I just haven't. Well, the Sephora that I have here isn't a real Sephora, but I haven't been able to get my hands on it just yet. When I do, you guys will know. So I'm gonna go in with the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. I personally love this, and I'm just gonna, you know, put it in the usual places that I would conceal. And I'm gonna try not to do too much, but I do want a little something. I feel like the makeup look in general looks a lot more natural without like concealer, but obviously I'm gonna put it on anyway. I'm not intentionally trying to make it seem like I don't have any makeup on at all or anything like that. It's not the goal. So I personally don't mind, but I would say if you do want it to look like you really don't have much of anything on your skin, skip the concealer, or maybe use something that's a little more blended into the foundation, and by that I mean like more on the same color scale, if that makes sense. And then of course using the puff. I personally need this concealer today because I went to bed super late. And why did I go to bed late? Because I was up doing nails. Now, I ain't going to show you guys the hand that I personally did, but I did finally purchase, if you watch the vlogs, you know, but I did finally purchase all the things that I needed to do Gel X nails. And so last night I was like, I'm gonna do my nails because I knew I was gonna film, like I wanted to film like a little get ready with me, but I didn't want my nails looking crazy. And I did have some like press-ons on that were actually pretty cute, and I cut down so they looked like more like natural, if you will. But one of them popped off, and I was like, thought to myself, like, I could glue it back on, but like, why would I do that when I know I wanted to do my nails anyways? So yeah, we were up until like 1 in the morning doing nails. I did my left hand, which I refuse to show you guys up close. Let's just say I do need a lot of practice, but my girlfriend did this hand and it came out so good, so good. There is a visual, there is a distinct difference between my right hand and my left hand. It's insane. She did a really good job though, but I feel like it would be like, it's not hard, first of all. Secondly, I feel like it would be easier for me personally doing it on someone else versus doing it on myself. But you know, practice makes perfect, and the more I do it, the better I will become. I guess the part that I struggle with, if you will, is the painting, polishing my nails. By the way, my girlfriend is not a girly girl. Like, she does not go get her nails done. It's not her thing. But I feel like she does the things she does for me out of love. Because she ain't gonna do it for everybody. And she's definitely never done it before. But we work together and, you know, make it work. And I love that about her. Like, she is willing to do things for me that I don't expect her to do. And doing my nails is definitely not something I ever expected her to do, but she's so good at it. So I told her she's my new nail stylist or whatever. I mean, clearly I'm gonna continue to practice and, you know, do my own, but whenever I can get her to do it, best believe that is what's gonna happen. So yeah, little story time. Up late doing nails, and it came out good. Well, the right hand came out good. So the one thing I did not do that I do want to do now is set my lids, because I did not set them before, only because I knew I was going to go in with some cream contour and I didn't want to put that on top of powder. But I'm lightly just taking in the cap. I have like next to nothing in here, and I'm just taking a little bit of the powder and just kind of setting my lids with that, because not every day do I do eyeshadow. I will say that. However, I am going to do a little something today, and I want to incorporate a little bit of bronzer, which is typical for me, just to throw some bronzer in the crease. But for like a little like shimmer color, whatever, I'm going to use this Nudestix. This is in copper foil, so I've used it before. It's like a gold, if you will, and I'm just going to apply that on the lids because I do want somewhat of an eyeshadow look, nothing too crazy. And the thing I like about this is, number one, it's in stick form, 2, highly pigmented, and 3, it's easy to like apply, especially with lashes on already. So we're just going to avoid the palettes for today and keep it really simple. But before I do that, I do want to bronze the rest of my skin. So actually, I'm going to use the one from Nars. This I do swap out too as well. So sometimes I'll just use Nars. Sometimes I'll use Nars and my ABH saddle bronzer. I don't know what we're going to do today. It just depends on what I'm feeling once I apply it. I need a brush to do so. I have so many clean brushes now. You guys would be so proud of me. All my brushes, no, not all of them. I do have a small portion left to wash, but it's not like, number one, it's not like it was. 2, they're mostly just like eyeshadow brushes, so I will get to it. I will, because I don't want stuff to pile up again, but I did wash most of them. So I am going to apply some of the Nars. I'm going to do this first, and if I feel like I want like more defined cheekbones and everything, I will go in with the ABH saddle bronzer. That's what I mainly use that one for. It's just for like real deep definition. But I'm not looking for anything too intense today. So I think this may be alright, but we will see. I am pressing it on like as if it were blush, but then I'll buff it out. Alright, so I lied. We are going to go in with a little bit of saddle from ABH. And I'm going to pop it just like right here, just to add a little more definition down here. The Nars bronzer is a little bit more warmer. This has more of like a cool tone effect to it, and it just kind of looks a little better. If I just pop a little bit right there. Just like it, just to define certain parts of my face. And I'm going to put it down my nose too. I have not mastered contouring my nose yet, but what I do works, so I'm going to continue doing that. And then I'm actually going to take a mix of both bronzers, I feel, and I'm going to put that in my crease. I do need a fluffy brush though, so I'm going to use something nice and fluffy. This is the Morphe M504, so just something real big and fluffy like, and just kind of mix the two and kind of brush it in here. just for a little color, a little pigment, if you will. Doing this, it just looks really nice. It brings a little something into the eyes so that they don't look so plain, especially because I set them. I would not have necessarily concealed and set my lids the way that I did if I was not going to put any kind of shadow, because I do realize it does look a little weird if I were to do that and not put anything. So a little bit of bronzer in here is nice, and I could, like I said, stop there, but I am going to be using that Nudestix just to apply onto the lid a little bit, just for a little shimmer. I haven't worn shimmery eyeshadow in a little minute, so I'm going to place this on here, and I will take like a flat brush, so I just kind of get it on here. I do need to sharpen this or something. I don't know what you're supposed to do to get the rest of the product out. I need to do something, because yeah, this needs to be sharpened or something, because it is not going on. So to get a little more color payoff, I'm literally rubbing it onto the brush first and then applying it to my lid, because at this point I don't know any other way. I feel like trying to rub it onto the lid directly, it's scratching my lid a little bit, and I don't like that. I don't want to irritate my eyelid area or anything like that, because that is a very delicate, area or whatever. So we're just going to leave her like that and just blend a little more with the bronzer and just kind of be done with the eyes, I think. I never put anything on the top that I'm not going to add to the bottom, so I'm taking the Nars bronzer and just adding a little bit on the lower lash line, because this is the warmer tone out of both of them, and I don't want to muddy up like my under eye area, because that won't look cute. So I'm just using the tiniest amount and just blending it underneath here, just so that everything comes full circle. I love doing that. It just, to me, that is a more like complete eyeshadow look versus just having shadow on the top. I'm just not that girl. I can't have eyeshadow at the top and not the bottom. Everything just has to flow. It has to flow, even if it's just a little bit. So I have that, and then for mascara, I'm actually going to use the Fenty Beauty Full Frontal Mascara. So normally I would go in with the cream blush like during the phase of like cream contour, but honestly it just kind of got away from me, and I was truly debating whether or not I was even going to put cream blush on in the first place. But I have decided that I am going to pop a little bit on. So I'm using the one from Rare Beauty. I believe this is Happy. Yeah, so the pink one. I'm into the pink blush. It's been my thing, so I'm going to dilute it on the brush and then just tap it on, because I want a little bit. I don't want a lot, but I do want a little bit of blush. Sometimes I go all in. Today's not that day though. I'm not trying to go all in on the blush. So just a little bit. Gives the cheeks a nice little flush of color. Go with the brush we used for, what is this? Contour? Yeah, bronzer. And just tap that in even more. Just so it's nice and like seamless almost. And I like the touch of blush on the nose. It's really cute. And then for highlight, I don't do too much highlighting these days, but I am going to apply just a little bit, because why not? We're here. What brush am I going to use though? I really just want it on the center of my face, and that's about it. Oh, I haven't used this in a very long time. This is my, what brush is this? I actually got this off of Amazon. It's a dupe, I want to say. What brush is this a dupe for? I think ABH. I haven't used this in a long time. So I'm going to take this brush and just highlight, the center of my face. Wow. Forgot I had this brush. The brushes you forget about when you leave your brushes dirty for like forever. And then right down the center. And I love this one. I am using the palette from Sephora. I love this one because it's not glittery. It's just a nice sheen, if you will. I feel like I do have a hairbrush. Okay. It's a nice sheen on the face. And it just looks more glowy than anything. And I like that. Oh my goodness. That brush is kind of shedding a little bit. And I think that's about it. We do want to set our face down again. So I'm going to take some of this. I'm going to use this one first, just to lock everything in and melt whatever other cream products we have put on our face. And then I'm going to go in with the Revolution Pro hydra-matte, because I do want more of like a matte look today. I don't want it to be like super glowy. Alright, so I think we are done. That is it. Makeup is complete. This is what I've been doing every day. Well, not literally every day. Don't take it literal. But when I do put on makeup, this is the routine that I kind of stick with and go with, because it's easy. It just flows nicely. It's minimal products and you still get a nice finish at the end of it all. So why not? I'm definitely into more of like that simplified routine, and I'm learning less is more. Like, I've always known that, but I'm genuinely getting to know what that means. So I hope you guys enjoyed the routine. I enjoyed sharing it with you guys. I also enjoyed the way that it came out. I like the way that it came out, and I hope you guys did as well. Thank you guys for hanging out with me if you have been hanging out this long. Of course, if you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also, if you are not subscribed right now, I don't know what you're waiting for, but the button is down there, so make sure you hit it. Don't forget to click the bell so you can be notified every single time that I upload. I love you guys, and I will see each and every one of you in my next one. Bye, guys.